Hi everyone, it's Katie from the Charlestown Club, and today we are going to be doing baking soda painting. So the way this works is that you're going to need some food coloring dyes, or if you have liquid watercolor paints, that would work as well. You're going to want to put a couple drops of the dye into each of your paints, which is just water, so you want to add baking soda so that way it's a pretty thick consistency. The red is actually a very good example of what kind of consistency you want in a paint. You'll see as this video goes through that some of my paints are a little bit thinner, and what ended up happening was that these paints didn't really stick well to the paper. The final picture ends up having a very good color for red and a very good color for blue because their consistencies were a little bit thicker. So you want to make sure that your consistency of your paint from baking soda to water ratio is enough where you can spread it on the paper, but isn't as thin as this orange looks right now. What you're going to do is you're just going to cover the swaths of paper with your paints, whichever colors you're using, whichever design you use, and then you're going to come back to move on to the next part of our painting project. Once you have finished painting your project, you want to let it dry for a couple of seconds to a couple of minutes, depending on your paper's thickness. Mine was kind of thick, so I let it sit there for a second as I went into my kitchen to get the last ingredient that you need for your project, which is distilled vinegar. This is just distilled white vinegar that I had in my fridge. You're going to want to use a little bit of it to just make sure that you start pouring onto the paper in small droplets like I'm about to do. This is where the science part of this art project comes through, because baking soda and vinegar create bubbles and it gives it this kind of acid wash effect. Right here you can see it on the pink. You can see where the vinegar and the baking soda are reacting. And you're going to do that wherever you want, all over your paper. The colors will start to bleed together and creating a fun project. And honestly, the noise, I know you can't hear it because I have this audio on top of it, but it is fun to listen to it sizzle. And that is it for the project. You're going to do that as much as you want. Let the vinegar and the baking soda and the paints dry, and you have a finished, fun, tie-dyed kind of piece. And I will see you guys in the next video.